So we dropped about 40% revenue, and after that happened, I think the next thing that happened was we had the Newland floods. I had an interesting phone call from the head chef. Most of my team are Indian boys in the kitchen, and they said, they ring me on a Sunday afternoon, I'm about to jump on the bike and go for a spin. I get this phone call, but Brendan, the water's coming. I said, what do you mean the water's coming? And he said, it's just coming, there's water everywhere. And I said, well, turn the fucking tap off. And he said, no, it's coming. And he says, it's coming up from the ground. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I should get off my bike, I should get into work now. Should I ring the landlord? Yes, bring the landlord. So I drive in, these cars floating around in the dip. We've had this hell of a flood in New Lynn. The water due to the drain out down here that hadn't been cleared, the first backflow was in our car park. So all the manholes got blown off. There were 10-foot water spouts coming up. So downstairs, we have got our refrigeration, freezers, dry storage, alcohol storage and everything. On the security cameras, we watched 40 minutes, zero water in the basement to 1.2 metres. The road out there was screwed. It took 13 months to fully reopen that road again. So we dropped 40% in revenue overnight. Boom, gone. It was just done. Our first flag to Lonestar was they had no help for us. They were so helpful that they continued to charge us all our franchise fees and everything, and they then went on to add it to a loan and charge us interest on it. Thanks, Lonestar. So that was our first wake-up call to these guys, and so we went to the accountant, and the accountant told us, you guys are done. Go and hand the keys back to the landlord. You're not going to trade your way out of this. Steph and I thought, well, that's not an option. This is our life. So we boxed on. We traded through. We got through it. The Lonestar Awards came up. There were 4 awards available at the following awards. Ironically, so one of the ones that we got was pretty easy to get because it was the biggest turnaround in profitability for a year. We'd just come out of floods back to full trade, so we managed to get that one. The next one we got was Be Staunch, Walk Tall, and that was the award for dealing with adversity. Dealing with adversity, yeah? You gave us that? And so we got that one. And due to what we dealt with the floods and everything. From there, we almost took out the Supreme Award, our Franchisee of the Year, and Steph dots so many I's and crosses so many T's. I just fly by the wire and do what needs to be done, and if there's balls in the air, I'll catch them. Steph did an amazing job. We've switched over from council food grading to MPI through the government, which is way more comprehensive than the council, and we were the only Lonestar in the country to get 100%. Twice in a row we got 100% in our food audits. It was amazing. So we've ticked some boxes, we've done good work here. We've always had an amazing team of people. In fact, so much so that when Lonestar were trying to woo new franchisees, they would always bring them into the store. They told us that we did the best food, we had the best service. I was always present up the front. In fact, the COO of Lonestar that terminated us, Paul Steiner, who used to own McDonald's stores, and he got into this brand I assume, to buy it out as time goes by. He was brought here for dinner. He was, oddly enough, the guy that came up and had our final words. We did well here. So let's go forward a little. COVID come along. Well, that was a walk in the park to what we'd been through because the government was throwing money at us. The landlord wanted to give us a rent reduction. Oh, by the way, I do need to say a big thank you to Don and Christine upstairs, our landlords. They are really lovely people. It's like having a mum and dad upstairs. They've been amazing to us. He has reminded us that the clock is still ticking for the lease. But there has been no pressure. They've been amazing. So coming into COVID, When we came into COVID, I had a fairly serious mountain bike accident where I broke all the ribs off my spine, popped the kidney, lacerations to the liver, and lost my spleen. So I was pretty toast. Every month I was getting a letter from Coombe Medical Centre to come and get my childhood vaccinations again. So I'm an anti-vaxxer. Yeah, I'm an anti-vaxxer. 3 years went by and I managed to not get vaccinated. So when COVID came, we had this terrible virus. My dear lady here made an appointment with the doctor and they told me how important it was for me to be vaccinated.
You were also an asthmatic and I was concerned. He was an asthmatic and I was concerned like everybody else is. It was a respiratory disease and I didn't want him taking more time off work in all honesty.
So off I went, I got my vaccinations. The first 6 weeks of COVID, I ended up with major shingles and ended up bedridden. From there, I was sleeping so much because your spleen is your immune system, it's what's eaten by red blood cells and all that. So I had first-hand experience of vaccine injury. The 6 weeks that I had off, I started looking into down the rabbit hole, down the Telegram channels and things. So I started making myself aware of what was really going on. So it was just a no-brainer for me. In fact, so much so that when all this nonsense started, I went around and shoulder tapped my staff and said, please don't take the poison. I can give you information on this. You don't need to do that to work with it. Yeah, so that happened and we carried on. We did our click and collect thing and we traded. For the month of December last year, we turned over about $10,000. Our break even is $40,000 for a week. So doing click and collect wasn't sustainable. We ran an ad on Trade Me and Seek, and we met with some wonderful young people. And Steph and I sat down, probably having a glass of wine, and decided that, hang on a minute, there's so many people that have been displaced from their employment due to their vaccination status. So let's put an ad out on a non-discriminatory page. What harm can there be? At this time, and to the best of my understanding, and through the Restaurant Association, they told us that the mandates did not apply if the majority of your workforce were not vaccinated. So the moment this came out, we placed that ad, the New Zealand Herald's got hold of us. Well, I refuse to speak mainstream media due to something that's happened in my family in time gone by. And I couldn't work out how they got hold of this. Pretty naive, but I'll put my hand up for that. And next thing, Lonestar are onto me. They breached me. They told me I had till the 31st of March to exit my business. And I must remain at Click and Collect, which wasn't viable. So at Click and Collect, they figured I would just go broke and walk away with my tail between my legs, and that would be the end of it. Well, that's not how we roll. So, so with this non-discriminatory ad that we put up, we met so many lovely people. I need to speak of a couple of people that we met. A lovely young lady came in here. She worked for mental health. She took her first jab, ended up in hospital for 5 days. She wasn't able to take her second jab. She was terminated. How wrong is that? Then we met a really awesome chick called Sam. She was the head flight trainer for Jetstar, for the cabin crew. We had this absolute rock star rolling in our restaurant. It was super cool. So we managed to employ people that had been displaced from work, and then we had the conversations. We'd been breached 31st of March, we were out. We had already had the business for sale since January last year without a single inquiry for the reasons we know. And we thought, well, hey, we've got to give this a kick in the guts and give it a go. So I thought we had timed it about right in January to open the doors and open to all and walk our talk. That's what we did. And what I was hoping at this time, that the mandates would all just be dropped. So actually Paul Steiner came up and had a meeting with us, the COO, the mouthpiece for Lonestar, came up and had a meeting with us. And I told him what our intentions were. I said to him, guys, if Lonestar does this collectively, and if we do this as a brand, and Lonestar is one of the most trusted brands in this country, and if we all stand up together and we do this, we can flip these mandates as a brand, and Lonestar will be returned to its hero status as a brand right through our country. Unfortunately, there was a serious lack of testicles on Lonestar. So they bailed on that. So we went ahead and opened. We said we were going to be the busiest Lonestar in the country. We're one of the smallest, and we were. We opened and we cracked it. Steph sent out an email to a few folk, to 20 people. 20 people that had offered us support through our period and thanked us for standing up and making us dance and all that. So the Thursday night that we opened went bonkers because they had told everyone else, and everyone that rang in, and wanted to book a table for the evening, I was very careful to say that we are not following any of the mandates in here. No face nappies. You're going to be served by unvaccinated, unmasked people, and there's no face nappies allowed in this business. So come on down and have a It gets really good now. So we open up on this Thursday night, have a cracking night, and we had so much fun at work. Steph and I loved being here. We loved our guests. We loved the environment. I love the upbeatness of it. First thing on the Friday morning, I get a phone call from WorkSafe. We understand you traded last night. So I had a few choice words for them and told them but I must thank Liz Lambert on through here. She helped us through Section 83. We liaised with her a lot. She was very helpful. So we told them to basically cough from afar and join the far queue. So that was that. But we were completely stunned as to how WorkSafe knew about this, because there wasn't a nappy in sight when they come in. We didn't know. I put two and two together. Lonestar, we then got an email from our head office saying we understand you traded last night, because they still had us listed as closed on the website. And so I'm picking that it was Lonestar that set WorkSafe off trying to save their bacon for the rest of the brand. I'm confident that Lonestar called WorkSafe, potted us to make themselves look good, right? Then we get an email from Lonestar saying that we've got 10 days to comply, otherwise we're going to be terminated. Bring it on. So we continue to trade. Over the 8 days, and we had a couple of days off within there, because bearing in mind we'd gone from click and collect, where we're doing 10 grand in a month, to $10,000 in a night. We killed it. We were so busy. I had such a shortage of staff. So it was amazing how the community rallied around us and helped us out. It was just absolutely phenomenal. I've got a couple of people I do need to say thank you to here. Whilst this happened, sitting over in this table over by the Perspex window behind the bar, there was this amazing family. Mum was in tears. It was their 27th wedding anniversary. We were getting slammed. Everyone was running. We were all sweating. It was a nightmare. And this young fella, Sam, comes up to me, Sam Hollings. And he says, mate, you guys are getting fucked here. So I used to be the bar manager at Soul Bar. I can jump into your bar. I've finished my dinner. I know how your till system works. I'll jump into the bar. This guy leaves his family, jumps into the bar. Then he come back the next time. So amazing. Nikki Pemberton was here, this lovely lady, and she said, you guys are really, really busy. I used to work at Lonestar 10 years ago when I was doing the degree. I can come in and help you out. So then Nikki starts turning up at night and throwing a t-shirt on and helping us out. The community rallied big time. Leol's boys from Counterspin. Sorry, Leol. From the Daily Experiment. Her boys, her three boys jumped in and gave us a hand, and they were amazing. A young fellow by the name of Ashton, he jumped in. We just had so much help. I had friends. Get this, on my last night, on the final night that we traded, my head chef pulled out on me because he was too tired and he couldn't handle the pressure. My sous chef, I rang him and said, can you please come in early? I'm not up for it, I'm out. So I'm screwed. So I ring my mate Owen Sinclair, who used to own a restaurant called Killer Prawn in Whangarei. A legend, absolute legend of a man, and he also trained my chefs a number of years ago. He downed tools and said, I'll be there, buddy, I'll be there. He came in, and he's in his mid-50s, mate. It's classic. So he's got his glasses on, they're all steamy up, he can't remember the menu, he's not sure what goes on what plate and what goes with what dish. It was hilarious. But so I've got a head chef, but I haven't got a sous chef. As I'm pulling out my driveway at home, a very good friend of mine, Chris Scarrow, drives past. We happened to go past at the same time. And he stopped his car and he said, how are you getting on, mate? I said, well, we're in the shit. I'm down the sous chef. And he says, really? You're down the sous chef? Oh, best I go home and get my knives. I said, what? Get your knives? He said, mate, I was a head chef in London for 5 years. I'll be there in an hour and a half. So, Steph and I have never asked for help from above. I've never believed too much in God or anything like that, but every day I was on my knees asking for help and giving thanks. And still do, you know. The universe provided an amazing way for us. It was incredible. So that was Owen and Chris. My very dear friends, Dean and Kelly Humphrey from Pawanui. These guys, they downed tools and they came and stayed with us for 4 days. They helped us out. Kelly was running around, she had the beautiful white hat on, running around the restaurant. Dean was in the bar. You know, everyone rallied around us and helped us out. I had friends, Tracy and Billy from Orini, that came up. You know, we were all camping out at home making this work. I had my family up, I had my father polishing cutlery, and it was... So we got through it, we did it. Yeah, we had the best time. For that 8 days that we traded, for the last 8 days that we traded, was the most enjoyable, most rewarding, satisfying time that we've ever had in hospitality. It was a hell of a hoop. We knew we were doing the right thing. Our morals weren't for sale on this. After what I'd been through, there was no way I would ever force anyone to have an addiction.